All right. Hi, everyone. How's it going? This is immigration attorney Moumita. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I am here to talk about immigration, and just to give everyone a background on who I am an immigration lawyer. I have been practicing for the past 11 years, and it is my pleasure to do the work that I do because I really strongly and firmly believe that immigrants make America great. Immigrants make America great already, and we would not exist without the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears of the millions of immigrants that are here in the US. So today, what I'm going to talk about today is what are the ways that you can get a green card if you did not enter the US legally? Is it possible for you to get a green card if you did not enter the US legally? And one thing that many of you may have heard is that it's just not possible to get a green card if you didn't enter legally, if you crossed the border. But I'm here to tell you that there are actually several different ways that you may be able to get a green card if you do not have a legal entry. All right. And that is the first thing that I'm going to talk about today. And then I'll take some questions that you may have. So number one, if you are married to a US citizen or to a green card holder, or if you have a US citizen child who's at least 21, you may be able to adjust your status and get a green card in the US without having to leave by doing something that is called a self-petition. Now, for this self-petition, it's a little bit special. It is based upon your relationship. However, it is based upon certain problems that you may have in your marriage or problems that you may have with the relationship that you have with your child. So for those of you out there who do not have who are married to a citizen or a green card holder, or you have an adult US citizen child, and you've always heard that you have to leave the US for at least 10 years, or you need to do a waiver or a perdón, but you're not eligible for it, definitely give me a call, because this is one way that we can explore to keep you here in the US and get your work permit and a green card. Now, second way that you might be able to get a green card if you do not have a legal entry in the US is through something called the T visa. Now, T stands for trafficking, and the best way to describe it to you is if you have ever had a job where your boss really did not treat you well and you felt unsafe to leave or to stop working for them because you were afraid that you might get reported to police or to the immigration authorities, or you were afraid that some other harm might happen to you. That may be a way for you to get a green card because of your job situation. Now, some hallmarks to think about are this. Some things that might be happening in your job are the fact that your boss is not paying you properly, they refuse to pay you, or if you ask for better working conditions, they make fun of your immigration status, or they threaten to report you. They have maybe physically hurt you at your job. There are a lot of things that can happen. So if you do not have a good work environment and you have felt that your boss has threatened you because of your immigration status, or that is a reason that they're keeping you in your job, then it may be time to explore whether you're eligible for this sort of visa. All right. Another way that you may be able to get a green card without having to leave the US, or if you have entered illegally, is through the U visa. Now, the U visa is for victims of crime. And if you have been the victim of certain types of crime where it was a little bit more serious in nature and you have gone to the police, you cooperate with the police, you may be eligible to get a U visa on this basis. All right. Another way is if you have had certain family members in the past, or an employer who has filed for you many years ago, around 2001 or before, you may be grandfathered in and you may be able to adjust your status. You may be able to use that to help you adjust your status without having to leave the US. All right. And then another way is if you have a spouse or a child who is in the military or who has previously served in the military and was honorably discharged. All right. So there are actually certain different ways for you to be able to fix your status and get a green card without having to leave the US. And I wanted this to become knowledge because there is the impression, people have the impression that, oh, it's just not possible for me, but the thing is that not every lawyer will actually explore all these avenues. So definitely give me a call if any of this resonates with you, 212-248-7907, because I would love to see what I can do to help. Okay. Now, one question that I was told today that is my frequently my top question that my staff got today is, I have a green card interview coming up and my spouse is refusing to go with me. My green card interview is coming up, my future is on the line, and my US citizen spouse is refusing to go with me. What should I do? And if you have filed for a green card and your citizen is not showing up, then you need to take immediate action to contact me or any lawyer, but really give me a call, because I want to see if I can step in there and help save your application and do something called a self-petition instead if you qualify, all right? And yes, it may be possible to save, but if you don't go to your interview and your spouse doesn't show up, then you run the risk of a denial. And a denial means that you would also lose your work permit. So definitely give us a call. Take action today, because you do have rights and you may be able to file for a self-petition on your own if your spouse is refusing to go with you to the interview. And think about it. Why would they refuse to go? If this is one of the most important things in your life, your green card application is on the line, and you might even get deported. You might not be able to see your family anymore if you don't get your green card. So definitely something is going on and I want to help. So give us a call. All right. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. All right. Let's see. Thank you to Tony Coley. I have a question from, what about my brother-in-law that put in his application 19 years ago through a citizen's sister? Okay, so that's from Caprock Crafts. So 19 years ago would have been about 2002 or so. Give us a call, because maybe your brother-in-law might be able to benefit from something called 245I, the Life Adjustment Act. And he, if he's especially got some other way to get a green card, if his application falls into that category, then he may be able to do his green card application without doing a waiver. Okay. I have a question from Hashimi Assad, who's asking, my wife's case is in process, but now she is 4 months pregnant and I'm a green card holder. Please help. So Hashimi, give us a call, 212-248-7907. If you start your green card process and you get pregnant, how does that affect your case? Well, number one, if your green card application is based on your marriage, then it's further proof of your marriage. But maybe, Hashimi, you need to have something expedited. All right. Rahul Rajesh is asking, I have a voluntary departure, but I haven't left, and I have my USCIS application pending. How can I fix? Let me know. Okay. So for those of you who have a voluntary departure, but you never left, one thing that is really important for you to note is that if you take a voluntary departure, but you don't leave the US, then your voluntary departure order actually ends up converting into a removal order. And if you are trying to file for something in the US, you really have to be careful, because certain applications may end up causing you more problems than not. So give us a call, 212-248-7907, so we can make sure that you don't end up getting arrested at your interview or something worse that might happen, okay? All right. I have a question from Edwards Moore, who's asking, hello, USCIS sent me an RFE and I did send what they need, but anytime I check, it says my case is working on it. How long will it take? All right, so I know that's a very good question, Edward. Thank you for the question. Whenever you get a request for evidence and you respond to it, one of the first things that you want to know is, how long will it take for them to make a decision on my case? Now, this will depend. It may take just a few weeks for them to make a decision after they get your response, but definitely it may take them several more months to make a decision on your case. Now, one thing to note is that you can always measure the case processing time on USCIS website. So if you see that your total case is taking longer than the average processing time, then you may be able to put in a service request to try to speed up a decision, okay? So give us a call if you need help on that. So I have a question from Ahmed Samir, who's saying, I'm a green card holder and I would like to apply for an I-130 for my wife. Should I do it myself or with a lawyer? Thank you, Ahmed, for your question. So for those of you who are wondering, who have green card applications or any other immigration application that you want to file, and you're wondering, is it worth it to file with a lawyer, or can I do it myself? Now, here's the thing. Here's a big secret. It's not such a secret. You can do anything by yourself. You can file any application that you want by yourself. But when you work with a lawyer, our job as a lawyer is to spot the problems and make sure that you don't end up putting yourself into more trouble than not. And moreover, this is something that we do regularly. So we are aware of certain issues and certain patterns and the way things need to be filed in order to maximize the chance that things won't get rejected or things will be done properly. And, a delay of, several months can turn into a delay of several, of much longer if, you're missing evidence and they send a request for evidence later and you don't know how to follow up with it, or you forget a deadline. So these are some things that a lawyer can help cut down on, because guess what? Even when you have the best lawyer in the world, even in some of my cases, USCIS will reject things wrongly or incorrectly, or they'll issue requests for evidence incorrectly. And the other benefit that you have when you file with a lawyer is that they'll be able to explain things to you and make sure you don't freak out because you get nervous about why something says X, Y, or Z. So I always recommend filing with a lawyer. And if you need my help, you can give us a call, 212-248-7907. Okay, I'm gonna take a look, and again, thank you for everyone having a little bit patience. All right, so I have a question from Prince Blessy, who's saying, I have been married for 2 years and we recently filed papers jointly and it's pending. Now my wife doesn't want to come with me to the interview and is asking for a divorce, and she's pregnant with her boyfriend. Okay, Prince Blessy, I'm really, really sorry about your situation. It sounds like you've been going through some tough times and you have not been treated well by your wife, and I'm really, really sorry. And you're not the only one. There are a lot of people in this situation, because relationships are like that, right? A real relationship is a relationship that has problems. A relationship that doesn't have any problems is not real. And this is just something that happens in the real world. But you are in a special situation because your immigration status is dependent on your wife. And now your wife is saying that they won't help you, they don't want to continue. And that can mean deportation for you. That can mean the loss of your life, not your life, but your liberties here in the US. And if you have kids, that might be a problem for you to be able to see your kids as well. So if you have your interview coming up, give us a call, 212-248-7907. Because what we can do is we can step in and take over the application that your wife did and do a different application to help save your green card case. But time is of the essence. So if you have your interview coming up, this has to be done as soon as possible, okay? And if you have an interview coming up and it's too late, you have an interview tomorrow, your wife or your husband is telling you that they're not gonna go, then go there and maybe you can explain that they can't be there and you can ask for a reschedule, okay? But you want to make sure you give them truthful reasons, but you also want to try being, you want to try to avoid to have your interview, but you want to let them know that you need a different schedule. So definitely give us a call, 212-248-7907. Okay, let's see what else I have. So is DACA and TPS official to apply for a green card, from Jose Marquez? Jose, thank you for your question. So for those of you who have been following the American Dream and Promises Act, that is not yet law. If you have DACA, if you have TPS, it is not yet time for you to apply for a green card because it's not yet law. We are still waiting for the Senate to vote on the American Dream and Promises Act and pass it. Once it passes, then it'll become law. Then I'll notify everyone and hopefully help a whole bunch of you apply for a green card on that basis. All right. All right, everyone, that's all the time that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I know I didn't get to answer everyone's questions, but please, leave me some comments on my videos and hopefully I'll be able to answer those in due time. All right, I hope everyone has a great day.